Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of What's in Your Watch List. And I am your host, Demon Phil, or as I like to be called, Sauron Phil. Too dark? Go whatever. Anyway, we will be talking about Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power today, as you can see in the caption right here. It will be episode 5. It will have spoilers. Get ready for it. So we're going to go over that here in just a moment. Before we get into all that, keep in mind, I always put this out there in every video. Do the same thing in this one as well. Everyone has their opinions, and I'm absolutely fine with that. However, this is a no drama zone. So if you're going to put something up there that's going to initiate attacks or initiate drama, negativity, that kind of thing, you can't have it. So I'll remove it quicker than anything. Other than that, if you want to have a discussion, hey, go for it. Let's do this. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I am as well. And we'll see what happens from there and just have some fun. It's all about the fun. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and throw out there right now, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You have been warned. All right. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Episode 5. I have to admit, I've done some other reviews on this as well, and I kind of look a little confused at times on some of them because I didn't understand the flow of where we were going with all this. This is the episode. This is the one that you start going, ooh, I see where this is headed now. And we're going to go over a major spoiler at the end. So again, you were already warned, so just get ready for it. So we're starting to see movement on the map. It's no longer a stationary map. All the way through these 4 seasons, it's pretty much been this person here, this person here, this person here, and nothing's really changed per se. That being said, some major things have been thrown out there and discussed a little bit more. One thing I want to go over first and foremost is with the dwarves and the elves. So, Mithril has been found over there in the form of rocks, and they're trying to figure out exactly the way to use this thing. If you're a true fan of the series, of the brand, of the saga, of the books, whatever you want to go with, you should already know the name Mithril. It should go ahead and just go make you jump a little bit because it's exciting. It was a supporting piece, shall we say, in the movies or whatever, but it ended up having a major impact on the end of what happened in the trilogy. So, Mithril. It's the lighter than anything, armor that you can wear that actually withstands a cave troll trying to spear you. I mean, come on, it's strongest stuff that's out there, I would imagine. They're also talking about bottling up for the never-ending light. What was used against the spider that was in there? Again, you're starting to see forward movement on what's going on with this. So there's that one that's going on, but there's a lot of story involved in that and what's going on because there's a matter of honor between two that are on there, between the dwarf and the elf that are involved. There was a oath that was made, and the elf does not want to break it. However, he's told that you either go ahead and value that oath again, with the dwarf, or you go ahead and where you end up damning all of the elves, or you go ahead and give it to us, let us know what's going on, and then we can go ahead and save as many as we can. It's pretty tough to go with on that one. You have to see where it leads into this one because they kind of give you some foreshadowing on what's going to happen, which is interesting. And you go from there. We cut back to the stronghold where the majority of the humans, human race there that have been out of the Southlands pushed that way. There's a moving speech about, these are the terms that LOTR has put out there that you swear fealty and everything. However, we're going to push through this. We're going to prevail. We're going to be triumphant. And then the one guy comes out of the crowd and is like, I say we do it. I say we swear, fealty and We go ahead and save ourselves. Who's with me? And he takes a good chunk of them out of there, only to find out that Aldar's not the nice guy that he might have thought he could have been. I don't know why he would have thought that anyway. So it leads to a whole different thing, because now there's a whole bunch of them over there that are now going to be slaves to the orcs. You don't know exactly how they're going to treat them or what they're going to do to them yet, but it could be humans against humans in a civil war type thing where good versus evil. Trying to see where that's going to lead on that one. The hobbits made it back in this one. They're making the very dangerous trek across the land. They end up coming up to a land that is uh, infested with wolves. The wolves start hunting them. They try to hide and outrun them. Can't do so. The wolves corner them, and then all of a sudden, this mystery character who fell from the sky does something. Claps his hands with it as well, with something he says, and everything just you know out from underneath him, and underneath the wolves, throws him a ways off. The wolves take off because they're scared and stunned and everything. Well, this character that used this form of sorcery, magic, whatever you want to call it, is now poisoned by it as well. That's interesting to keep in mind, because you could see something that was starting to show up on his wrist and his hand and his arm. It almost looked like poison going through the veins, to be honest. Then he ends up producing some kind of a sorcery where he was in a body of water and trying to freeze it out. And the we were all hobbitting him and helping him and everything, comes over there to tap him to make sure he's okay. She ends up freezing to him. And just as you think she's about done for, he says the phrase that he's saying. It's not Latin, but it's some language that's out there. He starts muttering it very lowly, and then he starts almost like bellowing it, like it's echoing. At that point, it breaks the spell. She goes flying over. You think she's gone, done for, and she ends up getting up. She's actually got her hand intact. I was surprised by that one, by the way. And the other guy feels bad about, you know, that he's doing whatever he's doing. He doesn't have control over this power. Still trying to figure out exactly who this is. I think we all pretty much know, but I want to get confirmation on that before I go ahead and put that up here. And lastly, this is the big one here, and this is why this is a little bit longer than some of the other ones. You get to see what the purpose is of the helm that's being carried around by the kid. He presents it to show, he's actually holding on to this thing. They see a stone door that is covered by a whole mess of vines and everything that open up as soon as you get close with the helm. And the helm is carved into the door with the blade attached. And they are told that it is a key to that door, is what this helm is. They don't know what it is. They don't know what's behind there. No one's ever presumed to even try to open the door to find out or anything. My fiance was the first one. She actually caught it before I did, so I will give her props on this one because I did not. It wasn't until they pulled back on the camera and kind of looked up, and they actually said this place was a tower, not a community, not a town, not a stronghold, tower. And as soon as they went from the bottom, from the base of it, up, all it's missing is a right eye, right up there at the top. It's the eye of Sauron. So we are now starting to see what is in place to go ahead and make that come about, which I think is very interesting, because whenever you look at everything else, it's already in place, and you're just kind of like, okay, it's part of the structure, it's part of this place. No, there were events in motion that actually put it in place. Now you're starting to see that, and now we're starting to see what's going to happen with this. And at the very end, they're leaving Numenor. That would be Galadriel and the king of the Southland, the true king, and he is finally accepting who he is. He puts on the armor, he's actually got the sword, And yeah, this is going to be good because they're starting to take off with an army to go towards the Southlands and see how they can go ahead and face off against the orcs. We kind of know how that turns out, but then again, do we? So tune in next week. We'll be talking about episode 6 then. But if you're enjoying this, please, by all means, comment out there. Let me know what you think. Always, 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 please, 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 like, subscribe, and share. The likes, go ahead and get it where the algorithm will push it up there so more people can see it. The subscribe is there so you don't miss out on any of these episodes on there. It may not be your cup of tea on every single thing that I do, but I am doing so many different things. You're going to find something. And especially with a new wrestling show that'll be coming up in the near future, we got all kinds of stuff we're working on. And then share. Because again, whether you like it or not, someone else can have the opportunity as well. So if you will, please do that. I would certainly appreciate it. Until next time, where we go ahead and drop episode 6. What's in your watch list?